Okay, this is going to be a fairly comprehensive tutorial on Pelagic Blue Agent. Uh, like a lot of levels in Perfect Dark, there's a large knowledge portion that you have to know to figure out to get a decent time. So I spent some time going for 42 in the winter, so I'm just going to dump everything that I know. So it's not not a bad level to play at all. Uh, it's going to be for pretty involved, so it's for people who play GoldenEye, wanted to dabble a bit, like for this summer league and stuff is coming up. Uh, it should be really easy for a big chunk of points. People from like 2001 still have proof-worthy times. Uh, I know Voter has like a 50 with the old route, and that's like 77 points from 2005 or something. And with the new route, I can get 50 pretty much every run. So the goal for this video is going to be 45 pace, which is 88 points. People like Woda's, Elu, Jez have it right now. And the reason why this is going to be focused towards 45 instead of 42 or lower is because it's just I guess minor strat change that gets you lower times, and I'll touch on that at the end, but this is going to be just the basics. I think 45 is a good goal. So this is going to be broken down into 4 parts. We're going to start with the laptop placement, and we'll talk about the alarms and the alarm guards. We're going to talk about the buttons. We're going to talk about the speech skips and the warp at the end. So I'm going to use my original 45 as reference for a lot of this video. I'll bring up some other people's videos if they do some alternate things that I think are interesting. So let's go right in to the laptop placement. You can cut all the cinema, doesn't matter. Open this door and switch to the laptop gun. So the first thing is this guard. This is the first alarm guard. So if you don't kill him, it's going to go off way too soon, and you will want that. So I kill him in strafe here. The auto aim on agent is pretty good, so you should get it most of the time. If you need to slow it down a little, then just C up for a Yocto, and then take him out, then head to this door. Easy. So you hit B on this door, and it takes a second to open. So while it's opening, I hold B and Z at the same time. You see it's started already to start the animation to throw the laptop. So the animation takes about 2 seconds from when you hit B and Z to where you throw it. So in 2 seconds you need to be in the spot where you want to throw the laptop. And so we want to throw the laptop in a spot that will keep the alarm guards at bay until you can hit all the buttons. So I open the door, I start switching, and you see I kind of strafe around this column here and left. Oh, unintentional full screen. Oi. Alright, so where I'm aiming is always about right here on this column. So I want my sentry gun to stick like on this column or the ground near this column. It's pretty, it's not too like strict on where you have to place it, somewhere around here. And so why that is pretty much opposite of this, right behind where I'm standing is where the alarm is. So you just want to put it in a good place to where it has time to take out the 4 alarm guards that will be running toward the alarm. So that move takes some, I guess, a tad of finesse, so you have to just go and practice that. I'm not even sure where I threw it in my 45. It wasn't on here, I don't think, but I didn't really look. So You throw it, hope it gets somewhere around here, and then you go and hit B on this door. Okay, so like the first door, this one takes a second to open, so you're going to pause, and you're going to select the X-ray, but keep the Falcon 2 up, because you'll need it later. So I pause, select the X-ray scanner, and then I start left strafing into here. The strafe doesn't really matter. See, I saw that there was a green button over here, and then I can see these two. So there are 4 green buttons that you need to press without hitting any of the red buttons, pretty much. So this is going to be an annoying part for GoldenEye players because the buttons in Perfect Dark, one, work differently. In Perfect Dark, you press the buttons by releasing the B button instead of hitting the B button, like in GoldenEye. And also, it can be kind of tricky to see, to gauge like how close you are to the buttons with the X-ray scanner on. So that's also something that you need to practice. Start slow and work your way up. I am going to show mine and I'm going to explain it, but then I'm going to also explain like somebody else's, probably Woda's or something, because it's slightly different, and you should be prepared for a lot of different scenarios. So mine, I don't have a good combination. Like, I don't have these two closest to me, and I don't have the all 4 in a row, which is obviously very nice. I don't have either of those. So I go and hit these two as I'm circling around. I see these two are red, and then I know that this one over here is green because I saw it as I was walking in the room. So there are only 2 left that I don't know what they are, and I know one of them has to be green. So I kind of take a gamble with this one, and I just start. I think I just start mashing B at this point and just run around. And you see as I pause to take off the X-ray that I got one wrong. I hit a red one, so the unlocking sequence is going to reset here, which brings me to the next point. So I hit a wrong button, so there's only one button that I haven't hit, so I know it has to be the right one. You can do some statistical gambling on the buttons if you need to, but at first just take it slow. So I still get this open because of the other trick that you need to know about is that so after you hit a wrong button, you still have a certain amount of time to hit the right one, and it'll still unlock. So I know that there's only one button that I haven't looked at or hit, so I know which one's correct. So I pause, I take off my X-ray, hit that button, and you see that it has opened because I did it fast enough. So I go down the stairs, and then I just strafe towards this, and I mash B. Since you can't turn it off, well, you can't turn it back on, just off. I mash B like I'm trying to do the end of runway or something like that, and then straight back up the stairs. So right after I finished the buttons, the alarm turned back on, and that's fine. You can get good times with no alarm, you can get good times with the alarm going the whole time if you need to. The point is that if the alarm's on, it's going to be a lot laggier, so you need to get used to that in certain parts of the level. You really just want your sentry gun placement to hold off the guards until you finish the buttons, because that's especially laggy with the X-ray scanner on. So this was pretty fine so far. I'm pretty comfortable with where the alarm went off there. So these stairs, you'll get stuck going up them almost every time, just like a small stuck. So that is a good place to change strafe, like I changed from right to left here, because this wall is actually like longer than it looks, like it's actually here, instead of over there. So go up here, and so the goal with the buttons is that you hit the buttons and get the thing shut off fast enough that this door is still open. So that's a good goal to mark like how fast you're going. So get through there, and that guard is why it's good to keep the pistol out. You can just see up and shoot him real quick. It's very easy to get stuck on the sides of this level. There's a lot of odd textures. Just try and keep in the middle of the hallways, that's all. Let's put that away. Strafe up these, you ignore those guards over there, and you strafe up these stairs, and that's where the first speech skips are going to take place. But first I want to show you the buttons on Woda's 45. So, there we go. Alright. This is his beginning. He throws the sentry gun on that column, like you see. There you go. Pauses for the X-ray scanner. And see, he has a very nice combination. 1, 2, 3, 4. All in a row. He unpauses. He's good, he doesn't have any alarm. Takes out this guy. Beautiful. Alright. So, speech skips. So, the idea behind speech skipping in this game is that if you pause just as an NPC begins to say a line of text, and then you stay paused for the real-time duration of their message, then it saves you from wasting the game time of when they would be saying their message. So you're trying to pause just as they are going to start saying their message. And in this level it saves quite a bit because there are going to be ideally 5 skips that you do, 5 messages. But the first pause here is the longest, so it's the most important one. But it's also the easiest one, so let's go and try this one. So for this one, I like to pause like a couple tenths after I climb the stairs into the control room, so right there. So you can pause buffer it, I guess, a little early if you're unsure, but every pause does waste a little time, so doing like 100 pauses is going to give you a bad time, even if you get all the speech skips. So let's look at that one more time. I pause and I hear the audio while I'm paused. So I stay paused the whole time that the audio is going on. I actually could have unpaused like 1 or 2 seconds earlier. I was probably drying my hands or something, which is good to do while you're pausing if you have the sweatiest hands in the world like I do. Okay, so now we're going to strafe over to the right and we're going to skip the first crew member's speech. They both have 2 text boxes that you'd like to skip. So the crew members start their speeches when you're a certain distance from them, so you have to kind of get used to where that is. So I'm pause, and I pause right there. Now, like the first skip, you can like pause kind of early and just pause buffer frame by frame until you get it, but if you pause too many times, or like you start that crap too far away, then you're going to end up pausing like 10, 15 times to get the first skip, and that's going to waste a lot of time. So I pause there. I wait for how long I think his text is. I play it safe. You probably don't need to be paused as long as I do for this. But yeah. So I pause. I wait, I unpause, and I see that he's now putting his arms down, which means that I've skipped his first text. So now we just need to skip the second text. So to do that, you want to pause immediately again. So I unpause, I see his arms go down, and I pause again. So, well, yeah. So now I know that now I'm skipping the second one. So I wait out that, and I pause 3 times here. That third pause, it's unnecessary. You'll see that I skipped the 2 speeches of the other crew member with just 2 pauses. So I was just making sure that I got the second one. So then after this, you see he's silent and he will go and turn off the shit he needs to turn off. So then you go punch out this crew member, and then you turn towards this guy and pause for him. Now, this first pause for this last crew member is probably the hardest one because of the fine timing between punching that guy out and then turning and pausing because he's very close. So that's pretty fine timing there. And so this time I actually hear the audio, so that is a second sign that you have skipped the speech. So you are looking for either that you hear the audio from the text and the pause, or that you unpause and you see their arms going down. Alright. So then I wait for the first one, and then I pause immediately, and I see that his arms are indeed going down, so I have skipped the first one. And so I change to a weapon, because after the second skip I just leave, and it's good to have a weapon up for the end, especially if the alarm's going off, which it is in my run, because there will be guards in the hallways trying to block you. So I wait for him to finish his second speech, puts his arms down, doesn't say anything, I leave. So that's pretty straightforward, just strafe, trying not to get caught on anything or any guards. Okay, so now we've got to the warp part at the end. So you warp through this crack here between the left side of the barrier and the wall. So you kind of strafe through that door and kind of get snuggled in there. A second thing is that you see that I'm changing weapons as I'm getting into place here. So watch right here in the bottom right. I'm switching because the laggiest part, it seems, of the weapon switching animation is when the gun actually comes out. So that takes like a brief second. So I put it away and I'm in place now, and now it's coming out. So then I pause and I turn on high res, because obviously we'd like to make the most lag we can. Now, since the alarm's going off, that adds some more lag, that helps. So then I unpause, and you see the gun comes out now, and I slip right through. And through that whole time, I'm just holding left strafe against the crack there. So one more time. I'm switching weapons, pause, high res, unpause, through. And then I run like over here toward Elvis a little more, because if you don't, sometimes objective 3 won't complete. So one other thing that I wanted to note with the warping, if you want to make even more lag, you can turn on the X-ray scanner, and you can kind of like look around to make the X-ray scanner like load more of the level than would otherwise be loaded, which creates a lot more lag. But this isn't like that inconsistent. So sometimes the crew members won't complete fast enough, and you can lose a couple seconds there. Sometimes it won't complete at all. It just happens sometimes. It's a bummer. Alright, so I'm going to find a video that has somebody using the X-ray. So let's, go for boss, I guess. Boss. Oh, he watched the entire cutscene. Good damn. Okay. Alright. And see, he went right through it. He like wiggled. Okay, see, he also switches to in-bomb, so when he puts on the X-ray scanner and high-res, he unpauses and the in-bomb will come out, which is the laggiest one, I believe. Turns everything on, and he's through. So you know generally that you got the warp because he says that text. Joanna, what took you so long? Etc. Then you just move over a little more, and objective 3 will complete. Take off high res, and then you've got an Untitled World Record. Hey, no. Alright, so I just wanted to show another one of my runs, I guess my 42, to show that the speech skipping part can go like a couple different ways. It's not all the same every time, so. Alright, skip. Alright. So I didn't get the skip first time, so I wait for the entire duration of the text, and then I try it again. And I get it the second time. Run over. I missed it the first try, and then the second try I saw his arms were going down, so I repaused immediately. And I waited. And I got him first try, because I saw his arms go down after I unpaused. And I probably paused one too many times on him, but it's okay. I'm still 42. I didn't have a CMP this time. Turn on high res, and I just switched weapons there. Alright, that's pretty much all I wanted to get done for 45. So pretty much if you're going for lower than that, either you need a really lucky run with that strat. But so you notice there are no like the 44s or 43s on the ranks, because if you can get lower than 45, you can get 42. See, it's like some scrubs over here, and then you have 42, and then the 2 second or 3 second gap here. So the only difference between 45 and 42 is how you do the buttons. So on mine you see, shit, not frigate. So on mine, I don't pause here because I'm not pausing to get the X-ray. And so the X-rayless strat just takes advantage of the fact that if you hit a wrong button, you still have a tiny bit of time to hit the right one and it'll still open. So I just try and hit as many buttons as possible within that time frame. So this isn't as inconsistent as you might think. I would get one like every 15 minutes-ish, 15, 20. I just kind of mash B around there real fast. So that's the only difference between my 42 and my 45. I think my 45 has some better speech skips. The warp was about the same at the end. So if you have 45 and feel like trying that, then it's really not that bad. The way Boss and Klim do it, and probably the other people that have less than 42, they, like, you see the eye still go all the way around the hub there. What they do is they only hope for the best combination, which is like these four that you can see that are closest to you. So that's even faster. Like, we'll rewatch that part of bosses right now. So with that strat, it's a lot less consistent, but you don't have to run all the way around. And so obviously the less pauses that you have to do for the speech skips, the faster it's going to be. So I will annotate this video for all the different parts and stuff, so hopefully this was informative for anybody that wants to pick up Perfect Dark or just this level for the League or something. All you should go get sub 50 at least. See you later.